Well, hello everybody. I should be live. Now you should be hearing me. I turned off the media source, so that little video shouldn't be going anyway. This is the pre-show, which I do just a few minutes before we get going to give people time to try to square my screen and bring it a little closer. Trying to get things lined up. Just a little bit of stuff I do before the show starts. Now, I have a pretty simple show lined up for this evening. It's probably going to zip right through. Mostly what I am doing is you just drop some questions in. If I get some questions, you'll see them in the chat. And I don't answer them quite the second I see them because there's normally a delay of quite some time. It can be as much as 5 minutes sometimes because this is streaming to a lot of different networks. So I answer the questions throughout the show, but it depends. If there's a lot coming through, then I bunch them together. If I'm just seeing a question here and there popping in, then I'll just wait a little bit to see if there's any more to it, or make sure that everyone's logged in, and then I will go ahead and answer the question, or we'll discuss it or whatever. In the middle of the show today, I am going to slap a little video in. It is not sure which one I'm going to do. I have a couple to choose from. I really should test them before I go live, but I'm not going to. My official big time advertisement and all that is next week. So this show is still going to be very informal. It's not going to be run through exactly like I'm going to do next week, but pretty darn close. Won't take very much of your time this evening. If people want to stay in and chat, well, then it keeps going. But if they don't, then we just kind of go on to the next thing. I've got to get used to looking at the camera. I like to look at my video and the camera is up there. Eventually that'll be fixed. I just got out of the tub, so trying to get all gussied up here for the show. I really think I might lower this. Hold on, guys. I think that might be just a tad better. Hold on. I don't like it being off to my left. My vision in this eye is not as good as this side, so I tend to have all my devices more on that side. But for the camera to kind of line up a little closer to center, I need to do it this way. There's got to be another way I can zoom myself in some. When we do the show, which actually I'm going to start my little ad for it here in a minute. We're going to start pretty much on time. Hey, Memphis Matt, I see you popping in here. Hey, Roger, did you ever make me a mod or no? You know what? I'm not going to do it right now because I've only got a few minutes before showtime. But there is a way to do it. I guess I have to put it not just in the credits, which I didn't get done yet today, but you have to do it in the settings on YouTube. But I tried to do it and I had a little difficulty because of Twitch. So I will get that done. There's actually two of you um, that will be in there in the permanent credits. But like I said, next week is the actual. I need to quit looking at the camera or at the video. I need to look at the camera. Guys, it's going to take me a long time because I'm used to streaming in the car where I don't have to pretend that there's an audience inside the camera. I just talk in the car. So it's going to take a while before I start looking at the camera on a regular basis. I'm still going to always glance down and see the video. All righty, guys. Well, you know what? This is a pretty informal show. I don't know how many people will be in today. I don't know if there'll be a lot or one or two. It really doesn't make much difference. Basically, we're here to answer some questions or discuss a topic. I will zip through this pretty quick this evening because it's mostly just a run through to see, get people a chance to see the show and see what we're going to do. All right. I am a person that is a little bit of a stickler for being right exactly on time. But you know what I may just do? Just so I can screw around with my little settings and see if they work okay. I'm trying to see how the best way, and I still got time to figure it out. Got another minute, 5 minutes before the show. I let a little video run through. Not sure which one I want to run through first. I will probably put through the recipes for you app. It'll run through with probably the media source deleted, meaning the sound from the media source deleted. So it'll run through just a visual. I will probably turn off my mic as I do that visual. And then after I've let it run maybe twice, or I might even switch it and stick a second one in there, then all of a sudden we go live. The mic comes on. I say, hey, guess what? We're starting the show. I hope you enjoyed my ads. Boom. And then the show starts. So that is starting in just a few seconds. So let me look over here and figure this out. So you're not going to see me disappear. Unfortunately, they don't have one of the things here that really need to be here. And that is a way to turn off the web camera from being visible without having to go over to the editor. Goodness gracious, guess what time it is? It's getting ready for ad time. After I put my sound back on, now you can probably hear me talking. The chat's going to refresh. Unfortunately, my chat does not carry over. Now, the show hasn't quite started yet. We got a couple minutes, but I always do my little ad thing, not right at the beginning of showtime, but just a minute or two before. A lot of people pop in after 7 or right at 7. A lot of people are extremely busy and have, hey, you're pulling on the cord. Employee, sorry. Or the dog is, or somebody's pulling on the cord, and I'm about ready to start my show. We're starting in just a couple minutes. I have my nice little coffee here, special coffee to keep me awake and perky through the show. I've got to remember to look at the darn camera. I keep looking at myself on the camera instead of the evil eye. That's what the camera a lot of times is called by people in theater and TV. I have not done a TV shoot in years. Did some when I was younger. All right, we're getting pretty close to time, pretty close to starting here. Ooh, that's a little strong. Coffee, let me stir that up a little bit. This coffee's a little strong. Actually, this coffee is a lot strong. Do you think you could dilute this and get the dog out of here? My show starts in 1 minute. Get him out of here entirely, please. Problem when you have employees, guys. It look good? Awesome. Problem with you have employees, guys, you can't control what they do. So don't be surprised if during the show that I'm being interrupted or the dog jumps in my lap. That will not happen after my premiere show. As a matter of fact, nobody will be here. And actually, we set this studio up with the little gold curtain and stuff in the back, which I do like. But I'm very, very tempted to, I keep checking the time, guys. Very, 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 very tempted to make another studio in a smaller room. But the problem with that is I did it before and a terrible echo, and don't want a terrible echo. All righty, guys. So you know what we're going to do? Ooh, my employee did not come get my coffee. We are about 1 minute away from showtime. So you know what? I'm going to quit screwing around, and we are going to get the ball rolling here. So we're just going to click over to the live scene, and let's see how that goes. All right, I should be visible. Let me make sure all of my sound effects and everything else are all set. We're still popping up. You may notice that I have taken some stuff out. I've made some stuff really big. Probably going to shrink that subscriber goal. But our show has just started. Now, I'm just still chatting as if I was still in my pre-show chat. But normally, as soon as this live chat goes, I will be doing my intro. Say, hey, welcome to the show. My name is Roger Keyserling. I have helpful tips. By the way, I need to look at the camera. By the way, I just created a website just for this show, guys. I just created a website. So I'm going to look down here for a minute, and I am going to give you guys a link. First thing I'm going to give you guys in the show here before we start asking questions. Now, you can ask a question at any time. First thing I'm going to give you guys is a bit.ly link. Make sure I do this right. If I miss, these have to be written exactly, capitals and everything. Now you're going to love this. Let's see if it comes through. It should. I wonder if it's going to show me restreaming. Awesome. Now that should be clickable. The dog is in here and my show has started. Why am I seeing a dog in here? Why am I seeing a dog in here when my show's already started? I've already told the employee to take the dog. He didn't take the dog. Go. He's got a one of those laughing things, laughing toys to get the dog to go in there. My employees, sometimes it's kind of cool, sometimes it's a pain in the ass. All right, so let's get to it. That app right there, that is an iGen app. Since I don't have any questions, I'm just going to teach a little bit of stuff, and then we'll get moving on if I get some questions. Now, an iGen app is an app that you can do. You don't need to know coding. It's very easy. You just copy the link, you put a picture in. It works on any device. It's not overly attractive on a PC because it's going to zoom up like as if the PC's whole window is a phone. And people sometimes will look at it and they go, wow, look at these big icons. And they'll say, well, they're all cut off at the bottom. And then unless you know on an app to grab it, hey, perfect finds for you. Unless you know to grab it and drag it before you click the icons, you might not know that you can actually scroll down and click the rest of those buttons. But that is the app. That's what I call my bomb. That's the one. I even pay for that one. It's not an AdsMe app. It's free. I'm going to give you one of those later. But that's the app that you can find everything. I guess I can go ahead and close this and talk about this app for a minute. So, hey, hi, New York. There's people from all over the country in here. By the way, we are on 6 networks. I will see if I can remember what they are here in a minute. But first, I'm going to show you guys this app. Now, when I get good at this, guys, I have learned that I can actually use embed codes and put those embed codes directly into my video, where I would be able to manipulate the app itself within the video screen on these. It's a little bit of a tricky process, but I've almost figured it out. By the way, I spent all day looking at code on this software, as well as Restream and all the other sites that I use. And I have figured out all kinds of little coochie things I can do now. So, in other words, I'm getting more confident because I've managed to read the entire manual, kind of thing. There's a lot of things I still don't know, guys. It takes experience to be good at these shows. So let's move on. Let me look at this app. I made this app special. I even pay every month to have it. And I am cheap. I don't like to pay for anything. Now, I'm not going to actually turn this around because you probably won't really see it. Oh, there's a flipboard come through. But you probably can't really see that very well. And eventually I'll have little slides. Yeah, we'll talk about that dim pricing. That's a real stick in the you know what. But so anyone who's got questions about that shipping might be the topic of questions kind of today. So think about shipping questions. You can ask anything. We'll get to those questions in a little bit. So my app, I really want you guys to use this app. It does not cost you any money. And it's important because I give you everything you need in here. The very first button on this app, which is the Key Webco app that I gave you the link for, is search. Self-explanatory. But not only is that a search of all the hundreds and thousands of products, many of which are brand new I just added. Not only does it search my products, which a lot of people will shop with it. The important thing is it searches my keywebco.com blog and article database, which means that if you have access to that, a lot of the articles in there and stuff will link to, excuse me, I have a little stomach trouble. A lot of the articles and stuff in there will link to other sources of information that I use, including other sites I have. I am working on making a complete database archive in a Strikingly website. Once that's done, I will still leave this search on here, but I will also add that Strikingly website database linked into it. Next thing you'll see is the podcast. The dog's in here. That will not happen next week. Podcasts are very important. That's how I fund myself. As a matter of fact, I don't ask you to click the little links. And by the way, I'm going to add a little info in here. I found out through Streamlabs you can have products for sale, your own merchandise. I own several images copyrighted all the way through. As a matter of fact, I made a really crappy product. Now, it's a great product, but the image on it needs to be transparent. I just used a solid image to test it. But I made a little bag. Now, to tell you where to get that would be a little tricky right now because I haven't made a short link. It may already be included in some of these links that go out, but it's merchandise that you can buy, and I'm actually making one with my Key Webco Dragon. I am not trying to sell you that merchandise at this point, but this is pretty cool because right there, I believe in my bot in the chat, the automatic bot will stick one of my merchandises for sale that I don't even fulfill. It's a drop shipping thing, like my Redbubble store. And I make $5 a pop when someone buys it. Restream has a thing where you can click it and give me a donation. But more important than that, if you really guys want to give me a donation, and I need it, but I need subscribers more than anything. If you really want to give me a donation, click on my app, go to my podcast and donate there. Because you don't have to donate very much. It doesn't have to be a big public thing. Also, it's very important. If you have a question during the week, if you're driving around in the car, all you've got to do is use my little app. Click that podcast button. Record a little message. Make sure you do it so it can be aired. So you would say something like, hey, my name is Roger Keyserling of keywebco.com. I sell all kinds of crap and I have great blogs. My question to you today is, how come my website is only in the top 13% when, darn it, by now my schedule said it should be in the top 12%? Could you take a peek at it and look at it and see what I'm doing wrong? Boom. You just sent me a message that I can get. And not only will it be in my podcast, which has tens of thousands of listeners. I'm really big on podcasts now. I found a couple networks that just love me. So you get a little quickie advertisement for your business. Then what I do is I come on just like this show and I answer the question and I give a few links and some more information. But guess what? You do it on my podcast and I can make a little slideshow. Click the button. Not while you're driving. Exactly. Not while you're driving. Exactly. That's a police officer, by the way. Uh, so click the podcast button and I got off track. Click the podcast button and you can make the donations there. The reason I want you to do it there and send me the messages there is I can make a slideshow presentation using your voice where your question is asked. Then I will take your site or my site or whatever the question's about, and I'll just take images of it. And I'll have a real cute little video, and you know I can do that. I'll have a real cute little video. As a matter of fact, I'm giving you guys a little extra tip here. When I create you an image like that, chances are what I am making you is something that is the correct proportions and something that you could use as a Facebook business banner or even a banner on your website that talks about your business. In other words, I am making you a marketable advertisement video that you can put at the top of your Facebook page. So I'll use that marketable video if you're talking about your store. If it's about something else, of course, it'll be on the topic like dog grooming. I'll make some slides showing how to groom the dog when the people are asking questions. They say, what do I do about the dog's claws? And I'll have my dog's hand up with the claws. So your voice from the podcast will have a nice little video thing. Doesn't have to show your face. You can send me a video file and you can be directly in these shows. That's next phase. But right now, I want people to send their questions to me in the podcast or ask the questions here. All right, so we got to get through these buttons because I've got a question here I'm really dying to answer. Next tip, next button, very, very important. Probably the most important button for this show because it is my show. It is the link to my YouTube channel where every day you see daily streaming and once a week you see this little fancy show I do. Then, of course, is my blog. So it's the same. For now, that blog is the same database as the search would give you. In other words, it's at my Shopify, but that blog is eventually going to be my full archive with all of the articles I grabbed from all these different sites in a Strikingly site. Then there's get a website. That's very important. I need contracts to get a website. As a matter of fact, I don't have the link for you guys tonight, but I was going to give it to you. I'll give it to you guys in the professional show tomorrow, next Thursday. But there's a $25 little coochie bonus in it for you because I charge $250, I believe. $225 or $250. I believe it's $250. $250 to make a Strikingly website. And I train them. I'm not going to try to sell you the website now. But if you use the link that I get you, and you have to get to that link privately through me, through messages, anybody that uses that link or gives me the code, it might even just be a simple code that I give you, but anyone that gives me the code to get a website and then after they pay, you get a $25 little bonus. You can get that bonus either as a cash payment in PayPal or you can have me create you a couple microsites or make you some graphics if you want to turn it into exchanging bartering system. But I will pay you $25 cash. I need these websites and I need them now because they go up $150 in less than a month. I want to do as many as I can crank out now and teach as many as I can for the simple ones. Because once those go up, I'm going to start taking some of my backlog big dollar contracts where it'll take me a whole week to make, a pro site. So your opportunity to get these sites cheap and flawless like I am practicing for my big shot sites is now. We got to move through this app. Next thing is the eBay store, self-explanatory. Next thing is Poshmark, self-explanatory. Next thing is Design Shop. I really need to rename that. But that's where my logoed stuff is. The same thing that I'm going to be selling here on these videos eventually. Then you see a button that says men's, women's, pets, and toys. It's going to change. Right now it's men's, women's. That's not clothes. That's any product for a man, any product for a woman. Then I'm going to change pets and toys to home and garden. And then the last one is going to be a different button. That's when we sell our book, which, by the way, Perfect Finds for You, is the person that is going to co-author that book with me, by the way. and we're going to get that done. But oh, so behind. I've looked at the stuff I'm supposed to do, and I haven't even got it done. All right, so we have finished this part of the little spiel. I was telling you about the app that I'm giving you. Um, now, what I'm going to talk about next is the question we have in here, but I'm not just going to willy-nilly talk about it. We're going to look up a few things here before I jump in. I want to make sure. Hey, perfect funds for you. I want to make sure that I give you the correct information. So I'm going to fact check before I say anything. Takes me just a second to do a search here. All righty. I got to make sure I pick the right one. All right. I understand. Here we go. Now I'm not going to play this. I think this is the one. Yes, this is the one. This is the live chat from, let me put it down, well, there's a couple of them I'm going to refer you to. Now, I guess I'll go ahead and give you my link. Give them the link. Hold on, guys. This might take me just a second. I'm going to give you a link right here. Damn it. I think I am. Hold on. Yes, I am able to give you this link. Hold on, but it logged me out, logged me back in. These kind of things eventually, by the way, Perfect Finds and Memphis Map, those are moderators. These kind of things eventually you will already have the links unless it's a question on the fly. Then I will say, well, by the way, if I look this up on Google and I type, I'm basically telling you how to grab the link for me. Or if I go to keywebco.com and do a search, this blog comes up. I'm basically telling you how to find the link for me quick. Because if I type it in, now when I type it in from YouTube, it's only giving me one line. So it's not as critical as I thought a problem. I'm still addressing personal, work out the details in here. Next show won't have that. Okay, now that is one YouTube channel. That's a friend of mine that I've known for a very long time. Spent some time with him at Ecom Chicago, having some shots with Sandy and a few other big shots. I'm not going to drop any more names. But that's one place I want you to hear people talking about it with eBay before I answer any questions. Now, the other one, which I'm sure I think both moderators in here have probably seen because I refer him all the time. Where is he? Here he is. Now, this is Jay's article on it, which is actually tells you how to do it, and he does a freaking fantastic job with this. So, now Jay, of course, has this in his shows. So if you're watching his shows like you should be doing, you will already have some of this information. But this video he did, hold on, it's taking me a minute to get back where I wanted to be. I'm real clunky with this still. Is this me live? Yes, this is me live. Oh, I found myself. Oh, good job. So I won't have to be looking down and stuff when I get better at this. Okay, now that's Jay's. That one tells you how to do it. Now, what we're seeing in e-commerce, to answer your question a little more directly, what we're seeing in e-commerce, we are seeing the death of the community of e-commerce. Community in e-commerce is a fictional delusion that most people have. We are all now, unless you're on certain sites like Prairie Grit and ones that are, new and coming, trying to be community based, which is still going to, it's still going to click out its own market because there's huge values to a community base. Yeah, it was a great show. There's huge values to a community based program, meaning everyone has a fair chance to sell. I could come up 150 times a day in eBay search instead of once or twice, selling the exact same items. It's the search engine that determines if you're going to be successful or not. It's that simple. That is just the biggest in-your-face example of what's happening in e-commerce. Now, you guys aren't going to like this. This shipping thing is just a minor thing. It's so they can get more money. Everything that's being done, the government, the tariffs, the shipping, the basically the devaluation, then liquidation of eBay, because that's what I believe. Now, there's partial factual data on that, but some of it's supposition. But basically, from the people I know, that's what's going on. So that's what's happening. The reason they don't really care, people think that because we're sellers and we have our products on there, oh, they need us, they make our money off us. They don't make squat off us, but they're greedy and they don't want to let that little penny go. Where they make their money is investing in these companies in China, which are not going to be affected by this shipping thing in quite the same way. Keep that in mind. Box stores. Box stores. They have all this push. They're going to all these cities. Oh, become a box store. Get your brand. Get your brand. The reason they're doing that is they don't want to lose the antique money, which is very small for them. They don't want to lose it. You know, it's still part of their platform. So how do you get a bunch of antiques from everywhere where you don't have to deal with anybody except for some big companies? And you don't have to worry about returns or finances or anything like that. They want the big name stores. But it doesn't matter what store name they get. They just want somewhere that they can go, oh, this vintage antique shop in Melrose has 50,000 Tiffany glass vases. Vintage, new, everything. Well, how many Tiffany glass vases do we sell a day? How long can that vintage box store, so to speak, stay in stock? Let's take a peek at it. So where do you think the metrics is going to go? And as soon as the metrics goes to one business or another, and the charts and all that, that's all just fantasy. But as soon as it goes to one business, and it is the value of the business on their platform, which is a product catalog, not a community, then the only thing that's being seen anywhere at all, in Google pushes, anywhere, is the one that is the top metrics in the eBay catalog. Well, for now, you guys that are selling vintage and reselling, you guys have it on easy street. Just you wait as you see more of these become part of the product catalog. And trust me, all that vintage stuff is definitely going to be part of the catalog. They could do it yesterday. They're lollygagging. And they're lollygagging probably for a very good reason. Now, this is supposition based on fact. They're lollygagging because they know they don't really have to change it where your stuff doesn't come up. They made a big mistake by releasing that part first. All they have to do is make you jump through hoops through managed payments and all these regulations. You have to do this. You have to ship in a certain amount of time if the equinox of the planet is lined up. So they're making all these rules and regulations so they can quickly devalue all the small companies that don't just immediately when a return hits for a $180 item because the buyer claimed that it was damaged, ships out another one. Because they have huge departments, huge overhead, and they're getting that search engine. Now, what I mean by that is 2 years ago, if someone wrote me with a perfect example, I got this back today because they stole some pieces out of it. This was factory sealed when I sent it. Okay. All they did was need some of the backgammon pieces. So they took them. Okay, that's it. And they mailed it back at my cost. Well, in the past, I make them mail it back now because I'm tired of being stolen from them. Hey, make them mail it back. I'm not just going to let you have it. But in the past, I would look at it, I'd look at my profit margin for that day. Keep it. Here's 50% off. Don't bother me with this. What do I care? Because I was selling 150 things a day, like the box stores, like China, like companies that eBay invests in, and same with Amazon, and those are the ones that come up in the search. Yet we pay the exact same amount. So this shipping thing is just another example of another company. It's the post office and everywhere else. And eBay. It's just an example of how they are using all the parameters to milk everybody they can for every penny they can. Now, that said, it's only going to affect a certain percentage of your packages, so most people are going to blow it off. But it doesn't matter. it indicates the future of selling on these platforms. Now, not all platforms, but I'm talking about the big ones. They don't need us. They only need the box store in China that they've already moved the stuff over here so they don't have to pay the 25% imports. You know, guys, if you haven't bought toys yet, I really recommend you do that now. If you haven't bought all your soap, now you'll still be able to go to Dollar Tree for a couple years. Trust me, they will eventually run out of inventory that they pre-tariff imported. So everything's going to go up by 25%. Is it going to affect what comes here or anything else? Just more people making money. So even I'm going to even go on that more. Even Orbello. Okay, let me give you a Shopify example because not everyone in here is eBay. Even Orbello. I have keywebco.com. I hope it's live right now. It should be. I think I paid my bill. This is the borderline. Like if I don't pay, they turn me off. It's always on the borderline. I don't have an auto deduct with any money on that account. I don't like them taking money out without me knowing it. And if I forget, sometimes they turn it off for a day. I'm like, oh crap, I didn't pay my bill. The site's down. But I find out really quick. But keywebco.com, if you go look at that. Orbello, well, actually, not even Orbello anymore. Orbello is what I use to import and process the orders. But Orbello, after July 15th, isn't even fulfilling orders. You have to use AliExpress or whatever you import into their system from another supplier, which is fine because Orbello does a great job making sure that things get out pretty good. I mean, it's still dropship. But I had like 6,000 some listings in there. I had to take them all down. Now, why is Orbello giving away mammoth amounts of money, guys? Because most people choose to have them fulfill the orders. They don't go to AliExpress or any of the others. They choose the Orbello verified suppliers, which, by the way, are now on those other services. But why would they want to get rid of that? Now, they give you a bunch of reasons in their little emails and stuff, which are mostly, bull, like they always are from every company, pretty much. They have spokespeople that make up what you want to hear, and then there's the real facts of what it really is. Well, Orbello is not stupid. I'll read that in just a second. Orbello is not stupid. They know that those tariffs are coming. And they also know, as them being part of the verified supplier, they're going to have some legal obligation for some of this import stuff. So they're like, screw it, we'll get out of here. We'll just make our money as a commission on the sly. So that works. Okay, speaking of antiques and sort of off the topic, if you know anything about knives, I bought a 1950. Let me look this up real quick. I'm pretty familiar with the one you're talking about, but I don't just willy-nilly give answers, guys. So you're always going to have to bear with me looking things up. And we're looking them up using my app software, guys, not just Google search. So we should be able to find it. I have special software that checks all these different apps. I don't use just website search. And I have more luck getting the data I need from my apps. Now, if I wasn't live, I would be copying and pasting this. But right now, oh crap. I don't want Siri. Hate Siri. Right now, I am typing. We'll look this knife up here. And then we will get moving on to the next phase of the show. By the way, I am going to try to remember why I'm typing all this very slowly, because I only want to have to type it once. Ooh, already did a typo. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of words. Okay. I'm glad you're giving me this information because it makes it a lot better for me the more data I have to enter. ST. I think you're just a tad high on that price, maybe by about $30, $40 for the current market. But did I type that in yet? No, not yet. But you're pretty close, I think. but I'm making a supposition. All right, let's look this up. It's a shame they don't let us put pictures in here. Um, I am assuming. Now I'm going to zoom this picture in big. Now the color and whatnot may be different, but based on your description and based on the value amount that you gave me, in my approximate estimation of what you would probably have found, this is what I'm guessing. I know the picture's hard to see this way. Eventually, we'll do this in a better method. This is what I'm guessing you've got, or something very close to that. Colors may be totally different, but it does have all the specifications that you listed. They have theirs listed at $550. However, yeah, this is overpriced. Overpriced. There are other ones for $325. Just the handles were $60, guys. I would guesstimate that price between 320. That's probably a low ball price because the condition of the 325 one's not overly great. So I would estimate that price probably between $300 and $400 is where you should go. I would put it more on the lower side, but it all depends on the quality of that. That one said it was a switchblade. Let's see. Yeah, hold on. Push buttons, pops out, switchblade. But it is the same brand and everything else. And I might be wrong here. Let's see. Stiletto. 550. Let's look at some other ones too, because let's see what other one that came up. Is it an automatics? No, that changes it a little bit if it's an automatics. Because if it's an automatics, we have a considerably higher price range. Hold on. Gosh, I've got to work this out with the light. That's another one very similar to the one that you had before. I showed you before. So yeah, you did real good with that knife. Yeah, let me look at the description here. Stiletto. Oh, you're all right. That one's not called switch. Stiletto pick, automatic knife. I think they call it automatic instead of switchblade here. Yeah, automatic stiletto, automatic horn knife. Oh wow, here's one for $1,100. Check this one out. Oh, this one's lovely. Oh, this is very nice. By the way, this is the most reputable dealer of this, Latham's. Vintage knife. You want to look him up directly. You'll get a little bit high end price from him, but he's got good stuff according to my database. And he also pretty much has a rather large selection of those products. There's more than 4 or 5 pages here of that, so that's really good. All right, let's look at another one. Stiletto automatic trapdoor double. That's not it. Folding, folding, folding. I'm not seeing it labeled as that. Here are some other ones. This might be, oh, you know what? Autoknife.com. Check this place out. Now, I'm not familiar with them, but they seem to have a rather choice selection as well. So, AUTOKNIFE.com. Yes, I believe it is in Tennessee. Let's go back. Where is Latham again? Yeah, let's see where it's at. Let's go down to the bottom of the page. Now, I really don't like that. By the way, they sell out of Shopify. I didn't know that. Let me see if I can get their location here. See, I don't like About Us. Let's go to the About Us page. I don't like it when they don't tell where they are at. See, I even have a map at the bottom. It does not tell where they are at, so let's look it up. Latham Knives. Whoops. Would help if I spelled right. K-N-I. Located. Let's look that up. Now that's just a Google search. Well, crappy Google search. They just gave me one of their little branches. Well, we'll have to look that up later because I don't want to spend too much more time on that. All right, we are halfway, well, more than halfway through the show. Normally I go like 15, 20 minutes, then we do our little middle of the show thing. So I'm going to do my little middle of the show thing right now. Let's see, what middle of the show thing should I do? Now I'm going to talk over this video, so I'm not going to get rid of the sound. Then when we come back, we'll do our kind of closing. I'm not going to go on and on tonight because, it's late and a lot of people have a lot of things. So it's late and a lot of people have a lot of things to do. So we're going to get off this and we're going to move on to the next thing. So let's do something fun. Now I showed you recipes. You know what? Let's show you the eBay Fans app. All right. I believe, hold on. I believe we are still hearing me. So let me get rid of the media source sound. All right. This is the eBay Fans app. You can get that. You can just use my app and get the links. I would normally type it in, but we're not going to do that tonight. The eBay Fans app has everything eBay. Now, I'm not just selling you my stuff on eBay. As a matter of fact, I'm not selling too much on eBay now. But if you want to see their podcast, if you want to do a return, if you want to do some research, you look at their YouTube videos or look at their news release or their press release information, you can use the eBay Fans app and you can locate that without having to search all over the web. So check it out. It's free. You can find that on my sites. So now we are back live to my live screen. Now, in the next show that I do, that live screen will actually be, instead of me talking about my eBay Fans app, that will be like a tip video, or it might be me going sourcing throughout the week, showing like the items I bought or something like that. So by next week's show, that middle video, instead of me talking about the eBay Fans app, that middle video will be a useful tip or an interview or content that someone gives me to play the show. So that should be pretty cool. All right, so now this show is going to be wrapping up pretty soon. I did delay a little bit because we don't have too many people in here today. And again, this is not the grand opening official show. This is just for you guys to come in here and have a good time. And then next week is my big show where the dog won't be here. I won't be talking about what I'm actually doing behind the scenes. Hopefully, I probably will. It's a habit, but it'll be more streamlined and professional. So, do you have time for? Oh yeah, sure. Throw a question in. I always have time for another question. Hey, Harry Potter, you're really getting on my nerves, and I'm really gonna bitch out my employee for you being here. Go away. All right, so go ahead and throw your question in here. When it comes in, we'll get to it. Now, anybody that's in here today, on any of my sites, I would prefer it be YouTube, and in the future it will be YouTube only. But for now, if you're on any of my sites, happen to watch my show, and there's only a couple people in YouTube, I'll probably have quite a few elsewhere. And I know that one network has quite a few because I saw the numbers. But mostly, when I mean quite a few, I mean 4 or 5 people. This is a new show, and I haven't even had my official opening. What I am playing with here, you all know what it is. It's just a simple basic spinner. I don't know if you can see that, but that is the DeLuna brand. And I actually bought that off of a friend of mine. She bought a whole bunch of these when she was jumping on the craze, but she missed it by a couple weeks. So we got thousands of these laying around. If you want one, and they do work, these are really the high end of the cheapies. What I mean is they're branded, but they are the quality ones. They have the extra bearing. And they work wonderful. If you want one of these, and there's all kinds of crafts you can use these for, all you've got to do is send me a private message anywhere, not in these chats preferably, because you're going to need to send me your address. So just send me hey, go away. Send me a private message. That's the dog. Send me a private message on Facebook. That's the best way to reach me. And just give me your address and say, hey, I loved your show. Hopefully you did. And I will mail you out a fidget spinner for free. Now, if you don't want a fidget spinner, that's okay. You can also send me a private message and just tell me you enjoyed the show. And I'll come up with some little thing to give you, maybe a discount at my store, or maybe make you a logo or something. Just a little thank you for you guys spending time in here. Okay, do you think there would be any change of promoting change? Stop shipping increases. Do you think there would be any change of promoting change? Stop shipping increases. No, I don't think there would be. Um, no, they're just going to do it more and more and more and more. It doesn't matter what we want to do. I hope I'm answering that correctly. I know if you want us to pull together and stuff, but you know what? I'm going to drop a few names here. I know Susan Lindsay. We've been friends for years and years and years. You can go ahead and look her up. Susan Lindsay is a political advocate, big shot with the e-commerce. Yeah, there's not going to be any change. I hate to say it. I don't want to be discouraging. There are patterns in business that are unstoppable. The minute eBay turned from a community base to a product catalog, everything that's happening from this point for probably the next several years is because of that change. We've got a president in the White House that wants to make a bunch of money off tariffs. So, boom, we're going to have that happen. It's going to change how global international shipping is run from here on out. As a matter of fact, the big founders that have been doing drop shipping forever, they're gone, guys. They're not doing it anymore. They just leave it to the Chinese companies that have the wheel and deal. So, unfortunately, I don't want you to waste a lot of time. Now, do sign petitions, do your normal effort, but don't get your hopes up too much because it is a trend of the business. You see that dog really ticking me off? I don't think it's going to matter because they're making money. So that's it. But you make money, you going to take it away from them? I don't think so. If you wanted to head it off at the pass, you've got to get it before it happens. That's why Jay shows in his show a lot of times. He said, they just slip that crap on us. Now look, most people are going to say, it's no big deal. It's just over here. It's only going to affect a few packages. Next week, it'll be the next size down, the next size. He's pointing that out without making those suppositions. I am a little bit more older, so I can make suppositions based on old data. So I'm going to make the supposition that it is not changeable, but do attempt to try to change it. Maybe it'll just delay the rollout of those things. Unfortunately, I normally am upbeat and positive, and I say, "Oh, community action, community action." There is no community. It's a product catalog, guys. They're going to do whatever the hell they want. So everything changed, guys. Everything changed as soon as they became a product catalog. So don't forget, you guys want these free fidget spinners. Guys, I have thousands of these. Thousands and thousands and thousands. And I want to get rid of them. And I don't want to just give them away without any value to them. At least if someone's watching my show and they want a fidget spinner, I feel good sending them a few bucks to mail it to them. At least someone's going to enjoy it. They can sit here and spin it. Because I've been doing this the whole time since I've taken it out of the box. I'm going to have these taken away from me. Where's my mother? She'll take these toys away from me because I'll sit here and spin this thing all day. So if you want a fidget spinner, make sure you pop in and get one. Now, don't forget, guys, it doesn't matter what network you are on. If you were listening to me on Facebook, that's what I was going to do. I was going to tell you guys, I'll look up my chat, and that'll tell me Restream. I'll just look at my Restream IO. See, everything I'm doing here on this show and my mobile is all done through Streamlabs, but it actually is Restream that's doing all the back work, sending them everywhere. All right, this is where we are, in case anyone wants to know. And we have watchers on pretty much all the sites. Not all of them. We are online on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Periscope of all places. We were unable to connect to Smashcast. I thought that'd be a case. I had some trouble installing that. And we were also unable to connect to Chew. That's another one that I'm going to have to work on. I set up the sites, but I probably left something out. And we did connect with Mixer. So I only dropped 2 sites. And the important one, Twitch. I am live on, and Twitch is really cool, guys. I'm sorry. I really like that site. All right, what are we doing now? You know what? Showtime is technically over. I would normally be ending my show in about 3 minutes. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to stick to the pattern. I'm going to hope that everyone enjoyed listening to me rattle on and on and on. You are going to see me go live this evening on mobile. I think I am going to go ahead and run to the hospital tonight instead of going super early in the morning. And then maybe I might be able to skip tomorrow morning and maybe go tomorrow night or even the next morning. My nurse is not coming at 2. So if I go tonight, I might do better. Because if she comes at 2, then I just go to my normal appointment in the morning. They give me stuff, and then, I might have to go in at night. So I'm going to try to squeeze in another appointment tonight before midnight. That also saves me $20, guys. And $20 a day, if I can do that $20 every few days or something, that adds up to a lot of money. Alrighty, guys. Well, now I won't be talking about medical stuff or anything, but most of the are personal people I know in here. I see everybody that's here. So I know most everyone that's here. Now this will be watched in replays, I hope. But my next show will be even better. It'll be much more professional. We'll just zip right through. Hopefully I have a bunch of questions. I will be running some advertisements, so there should be some butts in the seat. As a matter of fact, I started that ad campaign today, which means it's only been seen by maybe 50 people. By the time next week rolls around, there should be at least 10 to 20,000 people that have seen my little $1 a day ad that runs for 7 days, and then I'm going to bump it up a day or two before I do my show next week. So I hope everyone enjoys Key Webco. Now, don't forget, every week is Thursday show. Get down. Every week is Thursday show. Starting actually officially next week. Every day and night, anytime I am in the car. Get down, you little monster. I am with these little monsters in the car driving around doing our feed on the mobile device. So I will see everyone again. Actually, I'm not going to linger after the show. One thing I am going to do eventually is after my show credits, I'm going to come back on live for people that want to talk to me after the show. But for this show, I'm not going to do it, but I will for the next one. So this is, if I remember this correctly, and hopefully I will, this should be, hey, back off, dog. This should be the video to end my show. Now, I still have the voice on, so I'd be talking about this next week. I'll say, hey, we've got kitchenware. I'd be trying to sell people, but I know everybody that's in here, so I'm not going to try to sell anyone. That's my Ecom Tips podcast. By the way, this is one of my I like this banner. It's very juvenile. I don't care. I like it, so I'm using it. I have much more attractive ones that I could use, but you know what? I don't care. I like it. I think it looks cute, and so I'm using it. So you can get toys and all kinds of stuff. We got my podcasts, blogs, and I would normally do a nice little spiel on this, and then this would play for a while. Then the credits, which I have not yet quite finished, would go. After the show, I would come back on and hold on. I didn't have it set up because I wasn't actually going to do this. But after the show, I would come back on like this, and then anyone that wanted to stay after the show would be able to stay, and we could just chit chat about whatever. The chat would be over there on the side. So this is what you would see after the show if we were just staying and chatting. I wouldn't go back to my live stream because I want to make a separation between what's in the show, what's before the show, and what's after. Then after this, then I would run the last set of credits, which would have everything about the moderators and thank you for visiting and all that. I will have that all worked out. I almost got it all created today. One thing I'm going to show you for the people that are still stuck in here, because a few people are watching me still, I am going to show you some of the other scenes. I did show you ending soon already. Okay. Be right back. That's what Be Right Back looks like. Is this it? No, that's back to tips. Oh, I deleted that other one. So the only ones in here that you guys didn't see, I've got some other ones in here like other ads, but the only one you didn't really see is, I wonder why that stopped. The only one you really didn't see was this one before. So let's go back to the editor and see if we're all live here. All righty, guys. Well, I'm going to go ahead and let you go. I hope you enjoyed listening to me rattle on and on and on a little bit about e-commerce. I am going to be back on going mobile. I think I am going to go ahead and run to the hospital tonight, save myself $20. I'm not sick where I have to go tonight. I could wait till tomorrow, but I don't have a nurse at 2. So I can use that as an excuse to save $20 and maybe not have to go in the morning. That might actually be the case because I'm actually doing pretty good for those still watching. All right, guys, I'm going to see you mobile in just a few minutes, and I will see you next week.